Yo, 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 what it is? What it is? Back, back, that like button. Okay, so got railroaded, man. Standing on it. But niggas gotta start doing jury duty, man. Said that before, y'all. Niggas gotta start doing jury duty, man. Yo, it was a lot of doubt in that case. Yeah, for real. G man. Yeah, it was a lot of doubt in that case, y'all. After I heard the closing arguments from the defense, all I had was doubt. Like that identification, the identification of Ksoo in that picture, y'all, and the identification of the officers that seen the guy running doesn't fit Ksoo. It don't. Yo, there's a huge difference between 5'8" and 6'3". Huge difference. And like his lawyer was saying, with the hat that he had on, and you know, they try to say he had his hair wrapped up, that'll give him about 2 more inches. So you talking about 6'5", 6'4". Talking about 6'5" or 6'4", man. Yo, the first thing I said, right? What's up, Major? Look, the first thing I said, right? Once them guilty verdicts came back so fast, I said, man, he must have. I wonder what that jury makeup was. Guess what the jury was, y'all? That man had all white jury. He had an all white jury, man. But that's our fault though for not doing jury duty. So this what Ksoo said. He said I had an all white 12 jurors with three white states attorneys, with a white judge in courtroom, with all white judges on the wall. Every black person I could pick on my jury was struck by the state. I just showed the world how Jacksonville, Florida is corrupt, and my lawyers proved I was innocent. God got the last say so. That's this Ksoo words, man. No, you probably can't see it. I know it's backwards. Yo, them drawers came back too fast, y'all. Like I would at least thought they'd have waited a day or two. Like Scotty jury came back in 20 minutes. Like, goddamn, was there any conversation going on in that bitch? Like, how the fuck do you come back with a guilty verdict in 20 minutes? Yo, they did closing arguments, and 15 minutes later, they come back talking about, yeah, ATK Scotty guilty. Like, damn, that was quick. But all right, you know, it was more evidence on him. And y'all know they had two separate jurors. But with Ksoo shit, yo, it was a lot of doubt in that case, man. It was a lot of doubt in that case. Listen to his lawyer closing arguments. Yeah, it had to be. It had to be, yo. That was a quick ass guilty verdict. So it's a video of Ksoo in the news that he was found guilty. Oh, where the fuck that video at? I only got the fucking video. Hold on. Here you go right here. Put his head down. That's a tough feeling, man. It's a tough reality, man. That news hurt. Niggas need to see this though, yo. Like, yo, that shit ain't no game, man. I'm telling you. Shit ain't no game. You go there playing with them people, yo, they'll fuck you over, yo. Like, I don't think the state proved their case. Even with the evidence. You know, if you go through the evidence, you go through the DNA in the car. That's not really strong evidence. The hoodie, that's not really strong concrete evidence. It's like the whole case was circumstantial. But the biggest piece of evidence was the identification from that photo or from that video. And yo, multiple officers gave different accounts of how tall that person was. Multiple officers gave different accounts. Yo, but his father was guilty though, yo. His father played the role, yo. His father wasn't innocent. So you think that, his father got another case with the same group of guys, opposite of Ksoo. His father has another case with the dude Butter. His father gets called to the scene. His father gets called to the scene. His father also decided to burn the clothes. Man, he knew what the fuck was going on, man. I'm not trying to hear that, man. That man knew what was going on, man. He was complicit the whole time. He was the one in control. They supposed to have been retaliating because he got shot and one of his sons got killed. He was the one pushing the buttons. Yo, the judge shouldn't get that motherfucker no deal. For real, man. He don't deserve no deal. Yo, if I was the judge, I'd give his ass life. Fuck you, man. They were like, well, Your Honor, he fulfilled his obligations. I'm not trying to hit none of that shit. His ass getting life. He gonna die in prison. He shouldn't get no deal, man. For real, man. What's up, Chris? He wasn't getting no deal in my courtroom. In the courtroom of Keep It G News, his father will be sentenced to death. Fuck you, man. Well, Keep It G, we offering, we recommended 7 to 20 years. Nope. Nah. I just don't think it fits. I wouldn't feel comfortable. This is what I'd tell him if I was a judge. I wouldn't feel comfortable with giving him 7 years in this case. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I think he deserves the book. He deserves the book. And I'm going to sentence him to death by a firing squad. That's what I give his ass. Death by a firing squad, man. That's what the fuck he need, man, testifying on his son, man. Look, so it's an old video. Listen to this. It's an old video of the father. I guess some snitching shit came up, because he been telling, he an old school rat. You feel me? He been telling since the beginning of time. His father might be the first nigga that ever told. You heard me? That's how long he been telling y'all. He might be the first rat.
They gonna change. They gonna change. See, this the blue this. This the blue that. This the blue told on this. This blue did this here. Challenge that, and you bet your bottom dollar on it. If blue told on Elm Street out here, go tell that street to bring his paperwork and show you with blue name on it. And blue put him in jail. One. I mean, bring one. Yeah, I'm calling them. They gonna change. See, this the blue.
Well, he was a gangster back then. Max, but it is Bullfrog. Appreciate it, Max, for the $5. Look, he was a gangster whenever he did that video. Now he on the court talking about, yeah, my son. You know why my son put me in this situation, nigga? Cause you was involved, yo. You was the leader of the gang, nigga. Fuck you talk about? Like, yo, hold up, man. We ready to go in on this ass. Talking about why would my son put me in this situation? Yeah, yo, but you gotta watch out for it, and that's what I said he was doing. You gotta watch out for them guys, man. Gotta watch out for the selfish guys, man. And man, he ain't. It's like, yo, he ain't even take care of them kids. If he did a better job parenting, maybe none of this shit would have happened. Niggas don't take accountability for nothing. You out this bitch promoting gangsterism. Your son a drill rapper, you want to be the manager. You feel me? His son drill rapping about killing, murder, and death, and you want to manage him. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. He deserves a death penalty, y'all. So I pray, I pray that the judge don't give him no deal, man. No deal, y'all. He don't deserve no deal. I don't give a fuck what he did. Yeah, for real, man. Dustin, ain't no way y'all couldn't, yo, my kids. And then, like, in his situation, these ain't your kids you took care of. Like, come on, y'all. The least you could have did was ate it. Yo, you already, like he said, he talking about his kidneys failing. You might die in a week. Like, what if he died next week? Then what? What if the father died next week, y'all, from kidney failure? Or heart disease, or congestive heart failure. Now, you done told on your kids, got him life, you did, when you could have just took the motherfucking case. Yo, that's what he do, though. He got a history of that. He got a history of getting in trouble and telling on niggas. He dirty. That's why I be telling y'all about these snitches and these rats. It's way bigger than what you think. It's way bigger than the streets. Yo, people gotta understand that, man. It's way bigger than the streets, man. It's about character, yo. It's about integrity. It's about morals. It's about principles. It's about you do the crime, you do the time. That's what it's about, man. If a person can't accept accountability on something that they did, then you can't accept it. You know, then what the fuck? You like, yo, accountability is everything, man. You committed a crime with these boys, yo. Rather he didn't know it was happening, or what? Once you realize a crime occurred, you ain't do nothing to stop it. Yeah, man, you ain't do nothing to. You ain't separate yourself from it. That man decided to take the clothes and burn them. You tried to help the case. Now you a victim. Now you ain't. He should have cut me loose. Why would they call me? Cause they always call you, nigga. The fuck, you was part of the crew. Hang around with young boys. That's why I told y'all, you gotta watch. Especially if you're a young kid in the early 20s, yo, be careful about them 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds that's still hanging with the guys, man. I'm telling you, niggas ain't right. If you're in the 20s and you got a guy on your block that's 40, get the fuck away from him. I'm telling you, he'll put you together. It's the reason why he's still out there. It's the reason why he's still out there. Yo, I don't even understand, yo. You shouldn't be, yo, if you're a black, If you black, yo, you shouldn't be allowed to get an all-white jury, yo. That's not a jury of your peers, man. It's not a jury of your peers. That's what saved Diddy. Diddy got saved because of diversity on the jury. Ksoo said every black juror they had, and that's what they do. They did it in Diddy case. Like, yo, they are literally striking jurors because they black. That's it. Like, yo, how is that justice, yo? How is that a fair system where you can strike a juror just because they black? That's crazy, yo. That's fucking crazy. I wonder if they striking black jurors when somebody is white. Probably not. I bet they don't got no motherfucking. I bet they ain't did no audits on that. They need to do an audit on jurors and the percentage of time black jurors are getting struck versus white ones. Man, I bet if them stats come out, people will be amazed. They need to do an audit when the suspect is black and how many black jurors get struck from that person's trial. They can do that. Right, you ain't never seen no all black juror. Not even in Atlanta. Yeah, but that's part of the play. You know, once you catch certain cases, they don't even want you to be on the jury no more. I remember a long time ago, I got a paper to do jury duty. I was trying to do this shit. But they talking about, yeah, send me all this. I had to send them all my information and shit. Man, they come back like, yeah, we would send out offer for jury duty. I say, damn, man, what the fuck? Why y'all want me on the jury? You don't think I'd be a good juror? You don't think I could be fair and impartial? I could be fair and impartial. I could look at the evidence. I mean, it come to a determination. Man, they rescinded this shit out the offer. Nope, we don't need them on the jury. Yo, people gotta start taking jury duty serious, man. Might save somebody's life. Because I'm not saying Ksoo is not guilty, but what I'm saying is, and this is what I always say, circumstantial evidence is how you get people that's innocent sentenced to life in prison. I ain't talking about Ksoo, I'm just saying in general. Like, yo, a lot of people get found guilty of circumstantial evidence. Nothing concrete, no fingerprints, no DNA, no guns, no witnesses, just all circumstantial. And then you got the rats. The rats who will say anything to get out of trouble. And I think that's where the defense fell short. They supposed to highlighted that. Yo, you will say anything, even lie. They supposed to have said that. But with all right jury, it probably didn't even matter. They already came in that bitch. Oh, he killed somebody. He did that shit. That fucking drill music. Yeah, he did that. Yeah, that was the fastest jury verdicts I seen in my fucking life, man. Then they came back with verdicts. Scotty got found guilty in 3 minutes. And it took motherfucking Ksoo to be found guilty in 3 hours. Yeah, man. What's up, cat? Mo. That shit crazy. Yo, I couldn't have been the only person surprised by that guilty verdict that fast. Was anybody else surprised? Like, damn, that was a quick ass verdict. What's up, Brandon? I couldn't have been the only one. Like, damn, 5 minutes? Yo, Scotty got found guilty in 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. Streets ain't no myth. Streets real. Troy Ave said the streets are myth because Troy Ave wanted to tell on niggas and they go unnoticed. Ain't nothing mythical about the streets. Streets real. So real that you don't even play in them. You know what I mean? That's how real it is. And people rely on you, man. The people rely on you. See, the problem is with an all-white jury is they don't really understand how this system works. You feel me? They don't really understand. They think this is an honest system. They don't know that these people lie on you, yo. These people fabricate evidence. These people coerce witnesses. Every single witness that got on that stand was coerced times 10. Every single one. Every single one, man, was coerced. I'm talking about repeatedly. Repeatedly. They probably disregarded the fact that they gave multiple statements. See, y'all gotta realize, yo, when it come down to me, and I always tell people this, like I seen this system, I seen it. I seen it. I seen. I know how dirty it is. I know how dirty it is. I seen them lie. I seen them fabricate. I seen this shit in my own case. So when I be speaking like this, I'm not speaking from in general. I'm speaking from experience. Yo, them people who fuck you over, yo, and get away with it, and get away with it. But the problem with an all-white jury is they don't know. They think this is an honest system. It's about justice, and I told y'all, yo, it's very little justice. It's very little justice in the system, yo. It's more corruption than anything. More corruption than anything. Railroading. Motherfuckers is getting railroaded daily. You know what I mean? Like with me, if I was on that jury, that identification of that shooter. Hold on. Ksoo running from the scene of a shooting. Yo, this it'd have been hard for me to get past this, man. This is what I would have been struggling with. This motherfucking picture. They say this guy was 5'8". Ksoo 6'3", man. This guy look like he got long locks. These locks look long. Ksoo at this time look like this. Those not long locks at all, man. It might be, yo. See, what the jury don't understand is when you got an all-white jury like that, they don't understand. Like I say, yo, they'll lie on you, man. If they want you bad enough, they will lie on you, yo. I'm telling you, I seen it. They'll lie on you. They'll make up a story. They'll make up a witness. They'll do whatever they need to do to secure a conviction. And in this case, they wanted Ksoo for whatever reason. They probably thought he got away with something before. So, and then you heard the father and the butter dude testify that I don't get a deal unless I say Ksoo did it. Like, yo, how was, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, how did that fly? Like, what? So basically you can't even tell the truth. You're a lie you're a lie to get this deal, yo. It was, yo, I'm just saying, yo, even if he did do it, maybe he did do it. I'm just saying the evidence, that picture was enough for me, yo. That picture and it wasn't irrefutable. That picture created doubt. The identification of the police officers that chased this person created doubt. The fact that one of the officers said he used to run track and he's 6'3", 6'4", and you couldn't chase Ksoo down, who probably smoke weed, pop pills, do lane, and he ain't even in shape. Yo, that creates doubt for me, man. Yeah, how about, man, them people dirty, bro. But it'd be hard to convince people that ain't never been through it. Like, I done seen the worst of it. Like, for real. I done seen the worst of it, yo. I told y'all, yo, these motherfuckers let a person plead guilty. In my case, that wasn't there. Like, it don't get no worse than that. And got away with it. Got away with it. They let a motherfucker plead guilty to being a shooter at a case where he wasn't even there, man. Pled guilty to it. All to duck a death penalty. Motherfucker was facing a death penalty, told to get life, caught 40 years, ran concurrent with life. So they secured 3 other convictions. Gave him 40 years, but it's really like he ain't getting no time because he got life on a whole nother murder. And he wasn't there. Evidence said he wasn't there. Witnesses said he wasn't there. But they allowed that shit to go through. So when I be telling you, yo, the system dirty, I know for certain the system is dirty. You feel me? This ain't me speculating. This ain't going. I'm talking about. I seen how they play, y'all. I seen what they did to other people. I got a homeboy that got found guilty on some bullshit. Got found guilty in trial on some bullshit. They ain't really had no evidence. Yeah, I seen that. I seen Shannon Sharp. I never lost. See, I don't know. I don't know how credible that law. I don't know if she gonna get no 20 million. I don't know if she gonna get no 20 million. That's what they do. You know, for the longest time, Hot Mode, that was the play. You know how many times I got pulled over because I fit the description of a suspect? Like, you know what I mean? Straight pull you over, throw you all on the ground, put you all up against the car. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Oh yeah, you fit the description. We don't even know if this suspect even real or not. It's just some shit they probably made up. They've been getting away with that shit way before body cameras. That was the play. You know what I mean? Just give them a reason to search for you. You fit the description of this person. Whole time this person might not even exist. I'm sad, no, y'all. If I was the judge in that courtroom, y'all, his father wouldn't get no deal, y'all. He don't deserve no deal, man. He don't deserve no deal, man. So you just gonna keep committing crimes and tell him. Like, yo, this man's a danger to society. Like, when you want to talk about danger to society, yo, he don't need to be allowed back on the streets, man. Straight up. Like, yo, you out this bitch committing crimes. Repeated. Like, you a repeat offender, 2-time felon. Committing crimes, telling on motherfuckers, come home, commit another crime, tell on a motherfucker. Like, yo, you are a danger. You are a threat to humanity, bro. You are a threat to yourself and others. Ain't that what they say? Ain't that why they don't be giving niggas bails and shit? You are a threat to yourself and others, man. For he's a threat to himself because he's out here doing some of the wildest things, and they're a threat to others because he don't want to take accountability for his actions. He rather tell on somebody else. It's a dangerous individual, y'all. Dangerous individual. But listen to this. Yo, this wasn't enough doubt. Listen to this. Listen to this closing argument. This is enough doubt to me. Listen to this shit. Hit that like button.
Let's do this.
What's up, Cole?
Chevy's best lineup of SUVs ever.
Now we talking about the bitch ass father, yo. He shouldn't get no deal, man.
That he was made.
Father don't deserve no deal, man. Nah, yo. If I was a judge, I'd be like, yo, it just don't sit right with me. Like, I just told on your kids, man. Not one, but two. Now they saying the other child fuck around getting left free. They never really specified his role in the situation. Have y'all noticed that? Well, he made the phone call. His role was he made the phone call, I guess. He didn't want to call the other father. Called the father. So basically by Ksoo father cooperating, they're going to let the other son go. That's what the defense attorney said. He like, I don't know, if they would, that'd be nice. Fuck out of here. You don't care about them kids, nigga. You don't care about them kids, man. Talking about he want to get home to his kids. So you going to sacrifice one child for another that you ain't going to get home and do nothing for. Fuck out of here. What's up, Sharif? But listen to this, y'all. This don't create doubt to y'all. Listen to this.
Maybe 5 yards further away. Then he said, was it 25? Was it 30 yards? Meanwhile, they're overlooking the inches and pounds discrepancy in between the descriptions in their case. Now, the reason why we're bringing the defense, we shouldn't have to, bringing all these witnesses to you, is for one simple thing. A dozen people, including police officers, are not going to consistently get it wrong. 12 people would have to be wrong, but consistent. Not tall and stocky, short and skinny. That doesn't make sense. Also, us as human beings, we understand that if somebody's right, that's going to drop their height. If they're far away, it's going to drop their height. I don't think that the people that are in the back of the courtroom are 12 inches tall. I have depth perception. I have the ability to be able to say it's at a distance.
And remember too, y'all, we talking about a police officer's description. You know, they trained for this. They trained for that, y'all. And see, that's the thing. Like, they just be able to disregard evidence whenever it's not beneficial to them. Now, if he'd have gave a description of 6'2", 6'1", 200 pounds, they'd have ran with it. But since he gave a description of 5'8" and skinny, it don't hold no weight. That's crazy.
There are some people, when you get up over 6 feet.
Yeah, Cole, and that's what I just was telling somebody, that he put the whole play in motion. Like, he tries to play this role that he was a victim in this. No, they called me. Yo, but that's not a victim. You know what I mean? Similar to how we talked about Cassie, and when they were trying to say Cassie was a victim. Like, not no victim of motherfucking sex trafficking. She might have been a victim of domestic abuse. But victims don't call and orchestrate sex workers. I mean, they don't call and have sex parties. They don't deal with the sex workers outside of the person that they're doing the shit with. Like, that's not a victim. That's somebody that was a full participant. In Ksoo case, this man picked them up, burnt the clothes, told Ksoo take a post down. Nah, nigga, you ain't no motherfucking victim. You was a full participant.
You get up over 200 pounds. Not a lot of human beings are that size. And you can
He was crashing them out. Old ass nigga. That's why I say, yo, if you young, yo, stay away from them old niggas, man. I'm telling you, the old niggas that's still outside are dangerous. You know why? Because if they hanging with you, that's a red flag off the rip. Because why you ain't hanging with niggas your age? And the reason I think, and most of the time, they're not hanging with niggas their age, because niggas their age know they flaw. You know what I mean? They know they flaw. I'm not fucking with your nigga. Grew up with him his whole life. You know he on fuckboy time. So they separate. But what happens is they're able to manipulate the youth, because the youth don't know the stories. They might have heard the stories, but they don't really know all the details, because the niggas that's around that could tell, well, the niggas that could tell it, they ain't really come around like that. And they don't really, you know, converse with the youth. You gotta stay away from them old niggas, man. Yo crashed them boys out and told on him. He shouldn't have been allowed to tell. He shouldn't have been allowed to tell, man. They should have took that information and they just was like, all right, well, you still gonna do some time. Like, you know already told 2-3 times prior. Like, we ain't ready to do that. Like, god damn, how many times you think you gonna tell in a lifetime, nigga? You only get one life. But that nigga that told that nigga three-time loser was snitching. He a repeat offender. Like, yo, you can't just keep telling and getting away with shit. But listen to this though.
Quickly determine that is not a normal size human being. That is not a normal size human being. Stand up again.
Y'all hear this?
I'm a big guy. He makes me look small. Take a seat. So, talking about the witnesses that consistently, according to the government, get it wrong and describe somebody who's short and skinny. Michael Williams, military vet, undoubtedly has training in stressful situations. He gives a description that doesn't fit their case, so they don't call him. Maybe hoping that we won't call him. Why wouldn't they call him? His testimony was minutes. But he says stuff that goes against their case, consistent with everybody else. Next, we have Renata Boston. I'm sorry, I forgot somebody, and this one's important. Tashita Sonner. She was the one that was inside of the...
I emphasize again, it is free to join my community. The stocks I share are also free. The techniques and strategies...
I forgot somebody, and this one's important. Tashita Sonner. She was the one that was inside of the staffing place where Charles McCormick was right before. Now, anything that I'm saying here I beg you, ask for the transcript. Fact check everything that I'm saying.
Yeah, sustained.
Then that's another thing too, y'all. The judge is biased as a motherfucker. Like when they look back and they do their post convictions and they look at what was sustained versus what was overruled between the prosecution and the defense, yo, I guarantee yo them numbers is staggering. Just based off of, listening to it. Like yo, she damn near sustained every objection that the prosecution made. And overruled damn near every objection that the defense made. She even did it in closing. Like, god damn, can a nigga close in peace? Right. You feel me, JB? I'm getting close in peace. Jesus Christ. Hey, they objected like twice in closing.
You've taken copious notes. I trust you remember the testimony, and you'll be able to fact check me in your own mind against the government. Tashida Saunders got up here, and the government questioned her. How tall is the shooter? Mr. Cooper then argued in his closing argument, taller than Charles McCormick. That is not what she said. We had to bring it out of her, Miss Kawaso, cross-examination. 5'8", 5'9", skinny. It's as if the government is trying to blur the lines to increase the height of the shooter and decrease the height of my client because it's the only way they can bridge that gap. We shouldn't have to give you what is the truth of what the witnesses said. Tashida Saunders said 5'8", 5'9". Not because if you say taller than Charles McCormick, well, that could go all the way up. She put a cap on it. We shouldn't have to bring it up. Now, Renata Boston was not upstairs and ran downstairs. She was sitting on a wall talking to her friends. She sees somebody come out of the woods. She also gives a description that we had to get out, which is consistent with everybody else, short and skinny, and also the same height that Tashida Saunders gave, which was 5'8" to 5'9".
Yo, come on, yo. Like, that right there was enough for me, yo. That's enough, because, yo, you only trying to create doubt. I mean, that's the thing people gotta understand, yo. It's about reasonable doubt. If you got reason to believe that it's a possibility, yo, because we talking about life in prison, yo. And that's the thing, yo. We talking about life in prison, man. We talking about never, ever seeing the streets again. Like, yo, if I'm on a jury, and I got that type of power in my hands, I gotta make sure I'm absolute. You know what I mean? It gotta be no doubt, yo, this motherfucker did that shit. And it was a lot of doubt in this case. It was a lot of doubt, yo, because a lot of the things that they found could be refuted. And I'm not listening to no rat. You heard me? I'm not listening to nobody that's under indictment and is giving a statement or giving a testimony based on a deal. I'm discrediting all that shit. That's just because of personal experience. I guess that's why they ask you, have you ever been through this? Have you had to be? I'm discrediting all that. I don't want to hear nothing nobody like that got to say. Because I know that they will say anything. They will say anything. I'm trying to tell you, I can't stress it enough. Like, they will say anything. They'll put that shit on one of y'all. Then they had to never even been in Jacksonville. You heard me? they said, hey, Corey, they'd have put it on you. Man, my man, Corey Carter did that shit. You like, what the? You said you in the comfort of your own home watching it on TV like us. The fuck? I ain't never been in Jacksonville day in my life. If that'll get them a time reduction, they'd put that shit on you, man. For real, man. They didn't say anything, yo. I'm not trying to hear nothing from nobody that's under indictment at all. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You're a lie. And I know you was coerced. And I know y'all had a mock trial for the past 2 weeks where they gave you questions and answers. No, fuck no, we ain't doing that. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
We shouldn't have to pull this information out. Your government should give you the objective facts and let you as the people decide. By tailoring it, They're not doing their job. Now let's talk about
For
law
real, yo.
enforcement.
Not even just that project. Yo, you shouldn't be able to, yo, you should not be able to continuously commit crimes until to get out of it. Like, yo, both these guys, Butter and what's called Fabio, they 2-time offenders with snitching. The father might be a lifer. Like, that nigga been snitching his whole life. He probably was snitching since he was in fucking elementary school. Telling on kids and shit that ain't wasn't doing their work. Like, he probably was a career rat. That man been telling since the 80s, man. Like, how the fuck you telling since the 80s? God damn. Keep catching these little light sentences. Facing life, catch 10 years. Facing life, 7 years. Man, I give that the death penalty. I mean that shit. If he was in Keeper G News court, Pops would be sentenced to death. I'd fight that shit in court. I mean, put it in a pair list. See how that shit work. Yeah, man, cause fuck that. He deserve it. They always lie.
Then Detective Collins. And let's contrast that with reasonable witnesses, objective witnesses. You remember earlier in the trial, there was a couple of crime scene techs, the DNA people, the fingerprint people.
Yo, but you gotta remember,
that is objective evidence.
this is an all-white jury, yo. All-white jury ain't gonna see it that way because they don't, you know what I mean? They probably ain't from that environment. They never live that lifestyle. They don't understand how these people is. So all they saying is justice. You know, this is the justice system. The state said this guy killed somebody. He killed him. And they don't have no connection to him. That's why, yo, all black people should not be allowed to have an all-white jury. You at least have 2 black people on the jury, man. They need to make that shit law. If you got a black defendant, at the very least, you gotta at least have 2 black people on the jury, yo. You should not be able to strike jurors just because they black. They did it in Diddy trial, where they're allowed to strike 8 jurors without no explanation. Now, I don't know if they do that in the state, but I know in the feds, they're allowed to strike 8 jurors without no explanation. In Diddy trial, they struck 7 jurors that was black without no explanation. And you know why they did it. Nobody did it. Like, you can't say, yo, I gotta have a jury of my peers, yo, and don't nobody on that bitch look like me, man. Ain't nobody on that bitch walk the same type of life as me. Ain't nobody in that, we ain't got no connection to anybody on this jury, yo. That's not a jury of your peers, man. It's not no jury of your peers.
Objective witnesses, when they testify, they answer the question.
And let me say this. You know, if he did the crime, you gotta do the time, yo, but they say, yo, we supposed to get a fair trial. And what's happening in the United States and what's been happening in the United States is, yo, our trials don't be fair. They're not fair trials.
They're not trying to, find the answer. Contrast that with Officer Collins and also Officer Smith.
Yeah, that's all they see.
Now, on Collins, we know, and we have the CAD notes.
Man, fuck no, bro. I die first. You gotta kill me,
Embrace
man.
the journey, where each moment turns.
Yo, especially, like I said, especially with the father got health issues, bro. Like, like I said, what if he died tomorrow? Like, you could have just died and never testified, bro. Like, just somebody could have had a better chance. Like, he talking about he got kidney failure and his lungs collapsing and he got motherfucking stage 4 cancer. Yo, you might not live too much longer anyway, my nigga. Fuck you telling on your son for, bro. Eat that shit. That man got a whole life to live. He's still in his 20s. You damn near lived your whole life. Pops done lived 80% of his life. At least 75% of his life. But that just go, selfishness, yo. He don't take care of his kids, so you can't really expect integrity. See, that's why I don't deal with people that don't take care of their kids, yo. Like, yo, that matters to me. You feel me? People saying, I've been saying this before I started hearing other people saying, if you can't be loyal to the ones you brought into this earth, or to the one you sleeping with, then yo, you can't show me no motherfucking loyalty, nigga. You feel me? You can't even be loyal to the people you brought into the earth. How I'ma trust you? How you my man? Whole time you got kids out this bitch running around, they ain't seen you in years. Be loyal to them first. Send it to me, y'all.
Cadmus.
Send it to me, y'all.
5686. On his direct examination, the government got that out, that's his badge number. I'll zoom in here for you. He gives a description of 5'5" to 5.
If your kids are lost cause and don't listen to them, you don't commit crimes with them. You know what I mean? I done been said that, yo. Once the streets get a hold of a kid, yo, it's damn near impossible to get him back. You know what I mean? The streets gonna get him back when it's finished. And sometimes you get him back, sometimes you don't. But as a parent, you don't participate in a criminal activity. Like, yo, this father was a participant. Even if he say he didn't participate in this one, he participated in the other one. And when he did participate in this one, he burnt the clothes, picked them up. So it's like, yo, you can't sit back and claim like you was a victim, like you wasn't aware what was going on, yo. And I think that he was the one calling the shots. Like, they looked at him as the OG. They called him OG. They looked at him as the big homie. You know what I mean? He was calling the shots. He was telling people who to do. You know what I mean? And then you turn around and tell on him and get it and might get a deal out of it. Like, well, that's crazy to me, man. Man, hell yeah. All right.
He gives a description of 5'5" to 5'9". I don't buy it for a second that, I'm not sure. He could have just said, black male with this type sweatshirt running, unknown height.
Just think of the level of person it takes, yo. Just think about it. Yo, think of like, y'all couldn't imagine doing that, yo. Like, in my wildest nightmares, I couldn't imagine getting on the stand, putting my hand up. I'm gonna tell the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help me God. And they ask me, do you see the killer in the courtroom? And I'd be like, yeah, there you go. What's his name? Sean Mosley III. Like, man, fuck no. You feel me? Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, yo. I would hang myself. Like, I would just feel so less of a human being. I would feel so less of a human being. Like, damn, I'm thinking about the time I raised them. I carried them on my back. And now I'm on this bitch on the other side of the law, sending them to prison. Ain't no fucking way, yo. Ain't no way. Or just the thought of it, it's like, damn, how the fuck yo do that? But I see how he did it, because he don't have morals. He don't have principles. He didn't raise his kids. That's why I say, niggas not raising their kids, yo. Stay the fuck away from them. A lot of them ain't right.
But he gave a description. Because the reason why you wouldn't do that, then if there's anybody tall, that's not the guy we're looking for. He gave the description that he had in that moment. He tried to be cagey. Compare him to how the texts were. We ask a question, the DNA expert. It could have gotten on there because of the t-shirt. Yes. Instead, him, from the very beginning of the cross-examination, he showed that he was motivated. When I asked him and I go, you ran track and field. He paused because he knew that was going to be bad for his testimony. I then asked him, you have to think about whether you ran track and field? And then he goes, well,
what I'm showing y'all is, yo, it was a lot of doubt. It was a lot of doubt in this case. It was a lot of doubt, yo. And the biggest doubt was supposed to be the strongest evidence. And that was that fucking photo, man. It was a lot of doubt in that photo. A lot of doubt.
Years ago, I'm not saying he's as fast as he was. I'm just saying that he's faster than this guy. 6'4", long legs, former runner, fit as anything as he took the stand. He wasn't giving straight answers. Most importantly, we heard from Detective Smith. Body cams. Where is Officer Collins' body cam that would have shown who he was chasing? At one point in his testimony, he talked about how recently he looked at the video and, he determined that he was wrong. People ask a question a lot on how wrongful convictions happen. That's how it happens. Because witnesses on the stand, Miss Kwas and I.
It is how it happens, though, y'all. And I said, I've been saying that for a while, y'all. This is how wrongful convictions happen, yo. Yo, circumstantial evidence, yo. Circumstantial evidence is rough, man. Like, I mean, I know that's a tool. They more than likely secure most of their fucking convictions on circumstantial evidence. Yo, but circumstantial evidence gets a lot of people put to prison, yo. I covered the case out of Baltimore. The what was it? The Harlem 3. What was that shit, y'all, that happened in Baltimore? Who from Baltimore remember that case? In the 80s, where the 3 kids, I think it was 3 of them, got arrested for killing the boy in the school over a starter jacket. Over a starter jacket, right? I went through the whole case. It was only one shooter. It was one shooter. But the police got these kids in the interrogation room, 5 different kids, and got them all to admit that it was 3 shooters, and they seen it. Yo, these guys did 30-something years in prison for that shit, man. 30-something years in prison. They ain't have no DNA. They ain't have no witnesses. They ain't have no evidence. Found them guilty because they coerced witnesses. They coerced the students and tricked the students by basically alluding to them being arrested to testify on these other kids that they knew ain't had nothing to do with this case. One of the people that testified came back years later and told the truth. That's how they end up getting off. But that happens so often, y'all. And some of these people never get out. Some of these people really die in prison, man, for shit they didn't do. And it's not as rare as they want you to believe. It's not. It's not as rare as they want you to believe, man. Even if they was guilty, and I ain't talking about them because they was not guilty, but even in the case where a person is guilty, yo, you still gotta do checks and balances, yo. You still deserve a right to a fair trial, yo. You still don't deserve to be lied on and have witnesses manipulated and evidence fabricated. No, yo, that's fucked up. That's not justice, man. It's not a justice system.
I've lived this case for years. We know the facts. And when he testified to that, you probably saw
That's all
us
they care
jump up and
about.
our faces go beet red.
Yeah, sustained.
You saw the evolution of his testimony. He did what we're saying that the government is trying to do. They're trying to increase the size of the shooter to fill that gap. But what he doesn't realize is where he thinks that he's growing of the shooter, it's actually his own nose, like Pinocchio. Because his lies, his attempt to lie, actually prove our point. Now, the government, they showed a very small photo. This is their exhibit focused in. There's your shooter. All right, you can see right above him a black line in a window. That's Officer Collins. Now, if you toggle back and forth, you'll see that the shadow of the two.
I don't even think they really proved that he knew them. I don't think he really proved. I don't think they ever made no connection to the kid in Ksoo. Unless it's something I missed, but I don't think they ever made no connection. It was all over a diss song. Then that's another thing, y'all. I ain't really got remorse for nobody dissing the dead, like in their songs. Like if you dissing the dead and you get killed because of it, then shit, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You know what I mean? Like I'm all the way against dissing the dead. If you get killed because of that shit, how I look at it, you fuck around deserve it. Cause I just think that shit low. You know what I mean? But when you talk about the system that's supposed to be fair and impartial, everybody deserves a fair trial, man. Even some of the worst deserves a fair trial, man. Do y'all see what they doing? What they did to Ghislaine Maxwell? She one of the worst. Did her dirty in court. Matter of fact, I just say some shit. I wonder if I saved it. Hold up, let's sidebar to that real quick. Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell when they testified in front of Congress. Oh, Vonnie trying to take a plea deal. Well, with that plea deal gonna come testimony. If he take a plea, so that's why they calling him a rat. He trying to plead out. Remember, Alvin, I asked you that yesterday. I said, what he taking a plea? Oh yeah, he ratting. If he taking a plea, he ratting. He trying to take a plea for 43 years. Oh yeah, he bitching up. Yeah, but that's what I kind of figured though. Damn. He ready to pull a gunner. Oh, but yeah, I was telling y'all about Jelaine Maxwell. When they testified in front of the grand jury, like when they secured her in front of the grand jury, I mean secured the indictment to the grand jury, yo wasn't nothing but police officer witnesses. It wasn't nothing but police officers, man. Like how the fuck do you go in front of the grand jury and get an indictment with nothing but police? You don't got no witnesses, no victims, no nothing. Just police. I think her conviction rate get overturned.
2. The Chevy Colorado and 430 pound-feet of standard torque.
Now, if you toggle back and forth, you'll see
Yeah, I
that
ain't
the
taking no
shadow.
40. Like, oh, niggas be tripping me out with that. Yo, I had a plea deal. Yo, when I first got booked, right, they was trying to give me 50 years, right? I ain't taking no 50 years. That wasn't the question. So then after like 6-7 months, they come back with if I get them a statement, they make sure I get 20 years. Well, I'm not doing that shit either. You feel me? Like, I ain't doing none of that. But you know the game. You know, it's a dangerous game because it ain't always foolproof. But normally when sometimes, I ain't gonna say normally, depending on the evidence in the case, when they start coming down, you know, they go from 50 to 20. Normally that say they ain't really trying to try their hand in court. Nah, I ain't even gonna say normally. Sometimes that mean they ain't trying to find that they ain't trying to play their hand in court. It's a dangerous game, but that's why you gotta know, you know, what you know and what they got. Because you can play that game and lose. You feel me? You can turn down that motherfucker 10, 15, 20 year plea and they hit you with a sentence. You feel me? Or motherfucker, they hit you with a letter and you'll never see the streets again. But I ain't copping out no 40 nothing years. Fuck out of here, you tripping. Taking a motherfucking 40-year plea. Them niggas crazy.
Now, if you toggle back and forth, you'll see that the shadow of the two is different. Now, I'm just pointing out a fact on what they didn't do. They talked about how there was a gradient at Renata Boston's home.
You know, I mean, you can get any lawyer you want, but they gotta be able to practice law. It's good. It's a lot of times it's good to get lawyers in the district that you in because they know the judges. I mean, sometimes they got favoritism with the judges because you'll get a judge from another district and they might treat that lawyer like shit just because of that. I mean, we don't know him. Who the fuck is he coming in this bitch or she coming in here thinking she gonna run something? I don't know. We gonna fuck him over. Yeah, for real. You do, yo. You'll sleep much better at night. Yo, I couldn't sleep, yo, knowing I took 43 years, yo. And it limits your ability to fight. You know what I mean? You cop out the 43 years, bro. You can't even motherfucking fight no more. You can't fight. You can't appeal it. You can't do no post convictions. You just gotta accept it. The only thing you can do is a habeas corpus, a sentence modification. Other than that, man, you tripping, man. You basically tie your hands behind your back for the next 43 years.
Talked about how there was a gradient at Renata Boston's home.
They already took a plea.
What we don't know, and what we can't tell, is if that is perfectly flat, if there is a drop-off, even of an inch, from the driveway to the grass, and whether the grass is flat. I can assume the driveway is flat.
Probably
But there
listen
may
to
be a
his mother.
slight deep.
His mother probably say, son, you gotta worry about yourself. No, you can't be worried about everybody else. Man, look, yo, when you get in them type of situations, yo, you can't worry about, yo, you can't be thinking about what your mother said. Mother gonna have your ass with a long bit, nigga. She don't give a fuck. All she wants is you home. She don't care about what you gonna have to do to get there, nigga. Fuck around, get chopped up if you might not make it home. Listening to Mom Dukes. Or your girl or your baby mother talking about roll over. Nah, man. You put yourself in that situation, yo, you gotta stand on that shit. Yeah, that's how they do, y'all. They don't really like that shit.
Deviation. Now, in a case like this, an inch matters. But when you go back and forth between these two, it's important to notice that the shooter, and we'll talk about this in a moment, has something up underneath their hood. Latham testified that that would add easily a couple of inches. Now, Officer Collins got up there and said that he's 6'4". He looked about that, maybe 6'3" sometimes. You know, guys will exaggerate, round it up, round it down. When you compare the two and put them side by side, and I'll draw a line in here for the window, right? And then I'll also do it for the window on the other side. So that's our point of reference. Now, if we estimate where the top of the head of the shooter is, because of what they have up underneath their head, that brings them roughly to the chin. Officer Collins. I don't know what the length of the average human head is from the top to the bottom, but I'm thinking it's at least 8 inches, 10 inches. They were hoping you wouldn't look at this closely, that he could just come in here and go, oh, I looked at this video years later, this very grainy, difficult to see video, and you want to know what? I was wrong. He was my height. That's preposterous, and the evidence shows that that is preposterous. We also heard from Officer Graham. We had to call him. They didn't. That's a police officer. Former police officer. We had to bring him in. He's one of the 2 police officers that chased on foot the shooter. Unquestionably chased the shooter. Why are we calling that witness and why are they not? They're not calling the witness because of the height description that he gives.
So let me tell y'all what Vonnie said, because I ain't read what Joe said. So I guess he sent the text message. You know they can email and shit. He sent the message uptown. And it said, it'd be hard to read. Salam. This is my jail number. If you need to get in contact with me, send me a message here. Inshallah. I'll call you this week. Just now able to get everything on point. So, he said, yeah, I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is base for M. For H max is 43, which is life. 2 points for plea, 1 point for early plea, 2 points for no background. 27 is 5 to 7 years. Hopefully, inshallah, is better than that. So he said he think he gonna get 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. Might get an elbow. Don't want them to do me like the other boys. Call you this week. Just now. So he said, Salam, it's good. Do you have the situation under control? You got it under control if you take a plea. Everyone else has to take a plea because you're accepting responsibility. Meaning, you're telling what your role is in it. But you can come home tomorrow if you let them know about Vaughn And you have so these niggas is crazy. So whoever is contacting yo is telling him, look, yo, tell him on Vaughn. Vaughn, you get out of jail free card. Yo, we living in wild times, man. Yo told him tell him on Vaughn. You can come home tomorrow if you tell him on Vaughn. So the dude basically told him, don't take the plea. Because if you take the plea, you snitching. But shit, you can tell on Vaughn and get out. That's basically what this person told him. I don't know if he took the plea yet. Maybe this will deter him from taking the plea deal. Yo, sometimes you gotta fight, yo. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with niggas. This niggas is weird.
Yes. It conflicts with their case.
Yeah,
It's
for real.
consistent with all of the civilians that we brought in. All of the
I ain't
civilians
sure where
that
the message
testified.
coming from. I'll show it to y'all, but you know how that shit be. It's gonna be backwards if I show it to you. I'll show it to you though. I don't know why the messages show backwards. Can y'all see it?
That we brought in, all of the civilians that testified, and Collins. The important thing is this. Any big guy knows this.
When someone fails to pay their property taxes, the government actually creates certificates on that debt. You can buy that debt from the government by paying the taxes. Then when the owner finally...
What?
The important thing is this. Any big guy knows this. There's no way a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", 230 is going to outrun a cadet that had just gone through the academy, that is going to outrun a former track runner.
Yeah, yo, we ain't with that shit, bro. Yo, you tell on any capacity. If I would fuck you told on the dead, you a rat in Baltimore, bro. Like niggas ain't try here, you know, he told on the dead. Nah, nigga, you a rat, bro. We ain't. You know, Baltimore one of them cities that still stand on the code for real. You know what I mean? It's a lot of places breaking them daily. Yo, but that shit don't fly in Baltimore, y'all. You can't come home off a murder case talking about, yeah, you know, remember yo did that? Yeah, I told him I got, you know what I mean? You know, he dead now, but you know, I solved 3 cases. Niggas like, man, you was a rat, nigga. Like trying, you was not gonna get welcome home with open arms. Talk about you told on the dead. Nah, you a rat. You still a rat, bro. I don't give a fuck if you told on the dead, the living. Take your charge, bro. You still ducking accountability. Fight it out. I don't know, man. Nah, niggas snitching Baltimore. I'm just saying, it ain't respected. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have the mind frame of he ain't telling on me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about as a whole. Of course, you got people that jeopardize their morals. I ain't saying that. But as a whole, we don't adopt it. You know, it's some places in America where as long as he ain't telling on me, you can still be my man. Nah, fuck no. That shit don't fly. If you told on him or you told on me, that shit all the same. I don't give a fuck if you told on a nigga we was beefing with, you ratted, bro. I know a nigga that got shot, right? Nigga got shot. And the guy that saved his life told. That nigga out the hospital and like, man, he's a rat. What you talking about? Hey, yo. Nigga out the hospital would call him a rat, man. That man told. He saved his life, but told in the process. Yo got out the hospital with paperwork, man. This nigga snitch. Fuck the fact that he saved my life. He's a rat. It's just different, yo. It's different. It's just different. It's okay to turn down Baltimore. Yo, crime. Yo, do we gotta do that, yo? Is it okay to tear down Afghanistan? Is it okay to tear down motherfucking Iran? Is it okay? Like, yo, what are you talking about, yo? Yo, conflicts happen, man. I'm against senseless murders, but all murders ain't senseless, yo. Some of these people violate. Some of these people be violating, man. Some of these people cross the line, man. It happens. Now, senseless stupidity. No, we not standing for that. That shit goofy. But when it come down to maximum disrespect, or you playing with somebody's life, nah, fuck no, yo. It's consequences for that. You know what I mean? United States deliver them all the time. What the fuck is the difference? What's the difference between United States bombing Iran and me bombing somebody that played with me? It's all the fucking same, man. They just want to convince you that it's not. Murder if murder is wrong, murder is wrong all around the board. Not just when it's not right just when it's sanctioned by the government. If it's wrong, man. Murder is obviously not wrong in this country. You know what I mean? If it's wrong, yo. If we're gonna make murder wrong all around the board. You know what I mean? Not just wrong when it's not beneficial to the United States. Yo, what trial was that, yo, that we watched? Where the lady said all murder is not created equal. What trial was that? What trial was that we was covering, y'all? I was like, oh shit. I ain't never look at it that way. But I feel it, because I agree. What trial was that we was covering, yo, when the lady said that? She said all murder is not created equal. The fuck trial was that? I don't even remember, man. Yeah, but it's not the residents of Baltimore why the city messed up, yo. It's the economics, yo. You strip a city economically, yo, you gonna get corruption. You gonna get violence, bro. Like, you can't blame the people. You can't blame the people. It's not the people. It's great people in Baltimore. You know what I mean? It's people that got morals. It's people that's respectable. You know? But when you growing up in an environment where motherfuckers is dying daily, then yo, it's either you gonna adapt to that environment or move. But if you ain't got the money to move, you're gonna have to adapt. And it's either you gonna sink or swim. Like, that's just what it is, yo. That's just what it is. You know? The environment is what creates the people. It's not the other way around. The people don't create the environment. The people don't create the environment, man. The environment creates the people. You change the environment, the people change. People don't have no choice but to adapt to the environment. Because they don't got the resources to change it. And a lot of times they ain't got the education to change. Because the education fucked up. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Dustin. You got politicians stealing and shit. Like, it's a lot of corruption going on, man. It's a lot of corruption going on, man. Exactly. If you notice, most people that leave an environment, depending on how that environment shaped them, over time they start seeing the world different. They start acting different. They start moving different. But sometimes when you so fucked up by the environment that you from, shit, even going there, it ain't gonna change you. You still gonna look at the world the same. You just know you're in a safer place. You know what I mean? Like how where I'm at now. Shit, I still carry the same trauma that I had when I was in Baltimore. I'm just in Pennsylvania now. You feel me? And I don't have the same threats here that I had there. Not saying that the threats don't exist. They just don't exist for me because I don't know nobody. You feel me? You know, most people get killed by people they know, man. it's very seldom, yo. You got, I ain't gonna say it's seldom because it's been more prevalent now. But you got a less chance of getting caught by a random act of violence than you do by getting killed by somebody that actually know you.
That's going to be, and remember what Graham said. He was jumping fences. He was fast. They were even in their cruiser for a moment trying to chase him.
Yeah,
He was that fast. That ain't him.
Yeah, they will.
Again, quote his sister, hell no.
Not doing nothing.
What was Hakeem Robinson like that? The government wants you to, say, well, photos didn't need to be taken. Remember, we're the ones that brought in the photographs the day before. We're the ones that had to bring that in, and we also brought in Howell. But if we look, this is when the scan was done, the big piece of the government's evidence. You see the build on Hakeem Robinson. Now, there's little point of reference here. If you put him up to, next to Miss Quas, a normal-sized human being, he's huge. But even in this, you can tell he's got a belly. He is out of shape. He is not toned. And, Your Honor, I hope that I can quote what I did the other day when I said the shooter ain't got no ass. He does. In the video that we had to enter in from the JSO property room where they show, and it's in evidence, you can look it up, I'm not going to play it now.
Yeah, object it again. I just think that that identification evidence, should have held some weight. But being as though it was an all-white jury, it didn't. Like, this was the fastest conviction I've ever seen in my life. Like, literally, y'all. I ain't exaggerating. I know I said 15, 20 minutes. ATK Scotty was found guilty in hours. Hours. You had a 2-week trial. How do you comb through 2 weeks worth of evidence in hours? That goes to show that they already had guilt on their mind. Like, they probably want that bitch ate breakfast. They probably went into the jury room, ate breakfast, and said guilty. Like, I don't even think they talked about the case. Ksoo was found guilty in probably 3 hours. Scotty was found guilty in about an hour, y'all. I was still looking at the closing arguments of Scotty when I got an alert that said ATK Scotty was found guilty. It shit was like 30 minutes, y'all. It really was. Like, I'm trying to be respectful and add more time to it. But you can't comb through 2 weeks worth of evidence in 30 minutes. Like, I don't think they went in there and talked about nothing.
Well, look how many batteries I could stuff in this motherfucker.
Anything?
I got.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
Entered into evidence as Defense Exhibit 3. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sustain the objection.
You can review Defense Exhibit 3. Our exhibit. It shows Sergeant Howell walk out. Sergeant Howell's 6 feet tall, like 300 pounds at the time. And Hakeem Robinson's taller than him. But you'll notice something as he's walking. Now, admittedly, he's wearing slides and he's walking. But big guys know this. They waddle a little bit. You ever seen a linebacker? The way that they walk? It's not the same as somebody who is fit and who is fast like the shooter. And you can see it. He has sort of a duck waddle in the way that he walks. It's a product of having big legs and being a big guy. be brought forward. Now, the government.
But yeah, though, y'all, like, yo, that was crazy, man. What's up, Sunshine? Yeah, that was dirty, y'all. Yo, but the father testimony shouldn't have been, like, in my court, he wouldn't have been credible. Yeah. In my court, he wouldn't have been credible, man. Especially when you find out he been telling since. Motherfucker! What's up with you? Look, especially when you find out he been telling since the 80s. Like, he'll say anything to get out of trouble, man. How you feeling, man?
How many calls you did?
2.
Me and you go.
You ain't did 2?
Yep.
Where you coming from?
What? Man, I've been all over. My last one was in Monroeville.
Yeah.
I spent some time down by the river. I parked my truck on the side of a hillside. Watched the sunset.
Oh, you been chilling.
Dodged the... Oh, bro. That's all I do is chill, man.
Yeah.
The best part about this job. Fuck all the other bullshit. I'll fucking chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone got cut loose, right?
Right.
I'm
Hey, yo, but I'm ready to get up off of here, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share it live. I'm ready. Oh, what the fuck? I'm ready to holler at Cho for real. It's another day of Keep It G News. And I'm out.